the game is too long. And I hate to say it, you know, Phoenix Wright games are always like this. Phoenix Wright games are incredibly drawn out, incredibly long, so freaking long that, you know, you could get 40 hours of gameplay alone out of a Phoenix Wright game. And if you guys remember, the last Phoenix Wright game that I played, okay, I played half of it, and then I stopped playing it for 2 years because I was so burnt out on the damn game because it was so long and drawn out. And then I finally returned to it earlier this year, and if you remember, it was 100 parts or 80 parts, something like that. So half of the game was 80 parts. The playthrough of the game was almost 200 parts. I think it's too long. You know what I mean? I just have to say that. I think it's too fucking long. It's too drawn out. The court cases could be a lot more streamlined and a lot more quick, right? And I don't understand, you know, again, okay, Phoenix Wright, when it first came out in 2005 or whenever the heck it was, you know, that maybe worked, but it doesn't really seem to me like the game series has adapted to the times, and that people, you know, who are hardcore fans of Phoenix Wright maybe like this game, and that's about it. And that really disappoints me because, you know, here I am busting my ass to do a playthrough with full voice acting. The playthrough is a good, I think it's almost up to what, 70, 80 parts? I'm not even sure at this point, but it's a good 15 hours or more that I've put into the game. And I hate to saying it, at this point, it's really, really taking a lot of time and effort to continue this playthrough, and people are just not watching. And it frustrates me. It does. It frustrates me. As a gamer, because I like the game, I'm enjoying it. As a business person, because I know that I need to keep this business afloat. In particular, you know, during this move that I moved across the country, and me going out of my comfort zone to do something different, and knowing that I really need this hardcore gaming season to go decently at least. It doesn't have to go overwhelmingly well, but it has to go decently so that I can stay afloat financially with all the stuff that's going on in my life right now. And people are just not showing up for the game, whether it's on stream or YouTube. And I'm going to be honest, I think that people really are not spreading the word about the fact that I am making or doing this game either. And get me wrong, I'm not saying this as a negative against any of you who are watching at all. But the difference between now and back when I was super popular are two things. Number one, there's a huge group of people on the internet who now hate my guts because of misinformation and because people don't want me to succeed because I don't do the way things that are done by everyone else. They don't like the fact that I do raw gameplay, that I do unedited gameplay. They hate the fact that I can make a living doing this because they think that that's outside the norm and that should not be the socially acceptable way to be a big, successful streamer and YouTuber, all right? That's number one. But number two, back in the day, we're talking 2009, 2010, when I was huge on YouTube, people talked about me constantly. Did you see Phil? He's doing this new game. Phil was doing this hilarious thing happened in the game. You got to check out Darksydephil. Phil's content is great. Now, it's like, well, Phil's been around for how long? Phil's been around since 2008. You know, everyone knows Phil, and so people will come and watch, but they don't spread the word anymore. And keep in mind, I don't advertise myself because I can't afford it. No one collaborates with me. And not to say that I haven't asked around from time to time, but no one collaborates with me on anything. And I don't have any kind of a promotional force behind me that's going to say, oh, you know, push Phil to the forefront, watch Phil's content. And in fact, Machinima kind of counterproductively does stuff. They promote other people and not me. So I get kind of swept under the rug. You know, for me, Phil's going out of his comfort zone. He's playing a game that normally he wouldn't play. He's doing full voice acting. He's using his 3DS. Outside of the core fan base, how many people do you think know that? I'd probably say 0. Okay? And you guys have to understand something. By no means am I saying that I want to get 1 billion views on my video. No. I don't. You know, I don't. I don't want to get 1 billion views on Layton versus Wright. You know, not to say that it wouldn't be nice. I'm just saying, just think about it this way. 2 hours of my time tonight, my voice is going to be rough. My voice is going to be messed up by the end of the stream. To the point where I'm probably not even going to talk that much tonight to my girlfriend after doing 2 hours of voice acting here. Okay? I'm going to upload these videos to YouTube. I'm probably going to make 50 cents on the people who watch it on stream. Right? And I'm probably going to make, quite honestly, about 20 bucks on the videos, maybe, if that I upload to YouTube. And it's like, that's less than minimum wage for a playthrough where I'm really busting my ass, you know? And, you know, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers. You guys know I strive to be different. I try to play a wide variety of content. I try to do things my own way. That's how I became successful. Not that I went out there and I was the Call of Duty guy, or I was just the Street Fighter guy. I could have done that. I could have been the Street Fighter 4 guy who only played Street Fighter 4, and I would have become like Gutex and Mike Ross, who came out of nowhere on YouTube for playing Street Fighter. That's who I would have been. But that's not who I wanted to be. I wanted to be the guy that can play raw, unedited gameplay, enjoy the games. When you watch my playthroughs, you feel like you're sitting right there next to me as the game is being played, and we share this unique experience together. That's what I want. That's what everyone has always said. That's how I'm different. That's how I'm successful. Okay? So, that's the problem I'm going through right now with Leighton vs. Right. And the fact, which a lot of you may not know this, I'm 15 hours into the game. People are saying I'm not halfway done with it yet. The game is that long. So if you're talking that I'm going to be playing this game for the next 2 months, on and off, and I'm going to get not even barely, look, I barely don't have 350 people on the stream yet, and I'm about to get started, and I'm not even getting 1,000 views a video on YouTube for me to bust my ass. You know what I mean? It's disturbing, and I don't even know what I should do. I'm kind of in a dilemma right now. You know? I don't know. I'm in a dilemma. Because what I used to do, when I used to play games, people would spread the word, and people would give me the benefit of the doubt and watch the footage. Now it's like, if it's not a huge overhyped game like The Walking Dead, or some games like earlier this year, everyone wanted to see me play Watch Dogs. Was it any good? Everyone watched me play South Park. Everyone wanted to see Dark Souls 2. If it's not one of those huge, giant, overhyped games, people don't care anymore. They don't even talk about it, and it's, sure, the little niche people like you guys right now who like Leighton vs. Right. Normally, what used to happen is you used to go out, go across the internet and say, watch Phil's content. He's making his awesome playthrough. Forget about Destiny. Watch Phil play Leighton vs. Right. He's the one of the few people who does a full playthrough like this with voice acting. I don't get that anymore. I don't get that anymore. I don't hear anyone talking about my content in a positive light, except if you're tweeting me, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. Thanks a lot for the compliments. They keep me going. You know, when I'm in the middle of a playthrough like this, and I'm busting my ass, continuing on with the game, when I could be doing other stuff, but I'm doing it because I like the game and that's what I want to do, and I get a nice tweet about Phil, you know, who cares? Thanks so much. I'm loving the playthrough. That means worlds to me. Trust me. That's the reason why I do what I do. Not because I make the paycheck doing it, okay? But I'm a realist, right? I'm a human, and I run a business, and I can't continuously be doing projects like this if they're gonna flop. You know? So, I just wanted to vent a little bit, everyone. I just wanted to vent a little bit. Because, you know, it does frustrate me, and understand that I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the situation. I'm mad at the fact that this is a game that I thought was going to be something so different. People told me for months, Phil, when you get a 3DS capture device, you're going to be a huge new audience is going to come watch your content, because not a lot of people are consistently doing full playthroughs of Nintendo 3DS games, and that has, the complete opposite has happened. Basically, it's taking attention away from a lot of the stuff I'm doing, and I get the feeling that some of the mainstream viewer base, who normally would say, oh, I like everything that Phil's playing, is now watching me do these kind of projects and saying, oh, well, Phil's doing all this weird stuff now, so we're just not going to watch his stuff anymore. I'm going to go watch, you know, some big-name YouTuber play the next overhyped, insanely, you know, overproduced game and skip this one. And I see some people on the stream are saying things such as, well, you know, this isn't a hyped game. This was maybe a huge game in Japan, but it's not in the States, and what you should wait for is Pokemon. Okay, fair enough, right? Fair enough. We got Smash Brothers coming up in October. We got Sonic Boom coming up in October, and we've got Pokemon, I believe, in November. So fair enough, if I play those games and they take off, okay, you've proven me wrong, right? But this is not a good start. You know, this really, quite honestly, is not a good start. I thought that it was going to be more interesting and more popular, or not more popular, but more appealing to people, and it seems like it has not been, and that obviously bothers me. Okay, all that being said, I'll end the pre-stream with this, and don't worry, don't take this pre-stream as Phil is ending Leighton versus Wright. That's not the point. It's just me venting. I want to let you guys know what's on my mind. Because it makes me feel better, right? It'll prepare me better for the stream, so I'm not all stressed out. And here's hoping that even if what I just said reaches 4 people, and 4 people spread the word about the playthrough to other people, maybe it'll actually catch on. Who knows, right? But actually, one thing I do want to let you guys know is that today I did purchase the HDMI out adapter for the iPhone and iPad. I tested it, and it does work. The only catch is that it does not do a high frame rate. It does a solid 30 frames per second, period, and will not go above that. And for some of the games that I've actually been playing, like Injustice on the iPad, it runs at 60 frames per second and looks gorgeous. So if I do videos of it, it's going to end up being a much lower frame rate. The reason I'm saying this is because I talked about this week, is that I am looking to possibly do iPad app walkthrough videos for the games that I've been playing a hell of a lot of, which in the past year and a half has been Injustice, and just recently, these past few weeks, WWE Supercard. I've been playing the hell out of these games. I could give you guys a lot of information and pointers about them, and undoubtedly, I'm going to be playing more of these games in the future because I am getting into them. I think this is the time to get into them as mobile devices are becoming bigger and bigger, right? Get my foot in the door now before I get left in the dust.